we're gonna do a little bit of a confession stream. Let's see what confessions are on the internet.
I had an affair and killed my wife.
Oh,
Now I'm raising our toddler alone. My wife and I met when we were in our late teens. She had an extremely traumatic upbringing and severe alcohol abuse issues with occasional drug use. She would drink to blackout and was physically violent with me during these periods.
so then divorce her, my guy. I know for a fact that this guy, he was thinking in his head, oh, we're married, we have a child, I can't divorce her. You guys know that getting a divorce is actually healthier for the child. Because if you guys force yourselves to stay together and live in that tension with the child can feel that and it messes them up in the head. Get a divorce. I don't care how messy it is. I don't care how long it takes. Get the divorce. Do it for your kid. Divorces are sometimes good for the kid. At least give them two happy households that they can bounce between until they hit 18. That's way better.
And during binges would make occasional S-word attempts or threats, and was physically violent with others. She would flirt with and hang out with other men while blackout drunk. On 3 occasions throughout our relationship, I saw her kissing other men while falling down drunk. She would constantly accuse me of cheating despite me being totally faithful. For those who will say she chose to drink and is responsible for her drunken actions, that is not how addiction works. What she did choose was to not seek help for herself and play an active role in her recovery. So ultimately, she is responsible. But her behavior while drunk doesn't hurt as bad because I know it was driven by illness. What did hurt was that she didn't address the causes of this and continued to minimize, deny, and dismiss the significance of her past on her drinking and her drinking on our lives.
It's so complicated when you have issues like this, when it comes to your wife or your girlfriend or boyfriend or your partner. You guys know they have a problem, but because you guys are blinded by the love, it's weird in your head for you to try and stop them from doing something that you can see makes them feel better. That's every single addiction. It makes you feel better in some way, whether it's drinking, popping pills, gambling. Like, you're chasing some sort of satisfaction. And if somebody loves you, I'm sure they can understand that. But dude, I think people are soft. If you love them, you will bring them the hard conversations. You will bring down the pain. It's tough love. Get them out of the addiction. Scream at them for an hour. Do what it takes to get that, to have that hard conversation, man.
Worth noting that I grew up with an alcoholic father, and then my mom.
Dude, I hate it when people start off by saying things like that, saying, oh, I had an alcoholic father. First of all, I'm not saying, oh, I don't care. All right, it sucks having a shitty parent. But the way he says it makes it come off like, oh, it is not my fault because my dad was an alcoholic. It is so hard for people to phrase this correctly and not make themselves look like the victim. But I'm going to try and keep an open mind just for this guy, even though the title of this confession is literally that he unalived his wife. Just get a divorce, my guy.
High school years who was alcoholic and abusive, and that my father eventually OD'd and died when I was a young adult. My wife and I moved about 2,500 miles across the country to my home city with the goal of me starting a business and us getting away from people and places that were very triggering for her. It went pretty well.
No.
She went back to work in her profession to help cover bills while I started my company. Prior to having our child, she worked but did not drive. I would drive her to work, drive to meet her at lunch, drive to pick her up. I began earning so much money that we lost more by me driving her around than she would earn. And as a couple, we were further ahead with her not working. She stopped working and said she drank because she was bored. If she was going to be home, she wanted to be a mom.
Then drop the alcohol. This lady is pulling red flags out of her panties, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I kiss men when I'm drunk. I fight when I'm drunk. I attack people when I'm drunk. I drink when I'm bored. Brother, it's like that one guy on TikTok that has the giant green flag or the giant red flag. Dude, she's running around the country with this red flag. You should have left her 2,500 miles ago, my guy.
I heard noises in our bedroom and found her passed out drunk with our toddler crawling around on the floor. I went in and grabbed our toddler and angrily yelled, "What are you doing? If you passed out with him on the chair, you could have suffocated him," and started leaving with him. She got angry and punched me in the face and pulled our toddler from my arms. I completely lost my temper, and for the first time ever, I hit her back. I hit her like a father would hit the back of a child's head when they're misbehaving.
No, dude, you can't do that, dude. You can't do that. You stoop to her level. Now you're just as bad, man. I always see people talk about, oh, you should be petty this, you should be petty that. No, you can't, dude. No, you can't. If you just want to be petty to somebody who just dish you on the street and you want to roast them back, sure. In a relationship, you can't be hitting each other. Now, this guy, at least in my eyes, he is just as bad.
Usually, we'd be together for 10 to 20 minutes before she would wake up screaming. It was so stressful that she would sometimes not try to see me and just stay in bed scrolling for a couple of hours before sleeping herself. I could see that it frustrated and overwhelmed her too. We had zero time to ourselves. Her family was not functional and in another part of the country. My family had all passed away. She didn't want any babysitters until our toddler could speak clearly and was mature enough to share any situations of mistreatment. I felt like a paycheck. She felt like a mom robot.
This whole situation... Actually, no, I'm not going to say it.
She was trying hard, staying sober, and she got her license and she could drive him to some appointments. I tried talking to her about driving to appointments across the city, so I didn't need to leave work. But she was too nervous with our toddler in the car. She tried talking to me about being more involved and present. All she wanted from me was to get up with them at 7 to 8 a.m. They slept together in our bed, so she was alone at night and alone getting up in the morning. I slept in the basement. I would often work or game until 3 to 4 a.m.
Fair.
and get up around 9 to 10 a.m.
Okay.
I asked her to move him into the baby room, but she wouldn't because she felt anxious that she was too far away at night, unable to respond in time for a fire, wouldn't hear a medical issue, etc. I was upset that I paid for a 4-bedroom house in an expensive area and we used 1 bedroom. She was upset about my lack of support. I was upset about our lack of connection. She was too. I asked for therapy, but she refused. I started developing feelings
So she doesn't want to help herself.
I told myself that if I hit midlife and dedicated 15 years to this person and drinking was still a problem, and on top of that, I'm developing feelings for another woman, and feeling like my attempts to resolve things with my wife weren't working, that I needed to end the relationship before I cheated.
Then do it, my guy. Then do it. Why do so many people have this problem where they know what they need to do and they won't do it? Okay, let me drop some truth real quick. Okay, I'm gonna go full cam for this. Let me drop some truth. As somebody who has never been in a relationship, feel free to take this with like a grain of salt or like a handful of salt or whatever. But let me just say this. I don't think it's wrong to look at somebody else in a relationship and say, oh wow, that person's really pretty. I want to smash, or I wonder what it's like to date them. I think it's a normal reaction. I think it's normal for people to see attractive people and have a aroused reaction. Like that's the whole thing between like regular people and celebrities. Like they look at pretty people and go, "Oh wow, I would love to date her. I would love to be her husband." It's whatever. But when you're in a relationship, being in a relationship, at least in my eyes, is not about, oh, I cannot have those feelings anymore. It is literally all about saying, I acknowledge that I have these feelings, but I'm going to be faithful and not act on it. That's what it is. That, I think, it's Like, if you are able to have that conversation with your partner, I think that is golden for a relationship. But for some reason, people just are not willing to have it. Why are so many people afraid to have tough conversations?
My feelings for my coworker were getting stronger. As we worked closely together, I told myself I need to either forget about other women and totally dedicate myself to my wife altogether.
It's too late for that.
A lifetime of struggle with these issues, or try connecting with another woman to see what it's like. I began opening up about my emotional pain to my coworker. She told me she was going through a breakup, and I lied and said I was too. I took my ring off at work so she could be more open to talking to me deeply.
And that is where the cheating started. Now we burn the bridge. Get a divorce, end everything. If this guy has any ounce of respect left for his wife, I would say he needs to tell her that he did that at work. I was talking with my female coworker. I took the ring off. And I did it with the intention of trying to get closer to her. If you do that at the very least, I can have some teeny tiny amount of respect left for this lady. I mean, for this guy.
I was growing closer and closer with my coworker, and we started going for drives outside of work at night. My car broke down in a remote spot, and it was in the middle of a cold snap in March. The tow truck was a 2-hour wait. I hadn't had intimate relations in weeks and was not thinking clearly. I started touching her intimately, and we had intimate time. It was very fast, only a couple of minutes.
Your wife is a bitch, okay? Don't get me wrong. Your wife is a bitch. Just leave. Just leave. Please, I am begging you, internet stranger. Just leave. I am begging you. Please.
As soon as it was done, the tow truck came. I took her home and went home myself. I felt sick, and I went to what was now my basement apartment and cried while I cleaned myself. I reached out to a male friend who told me to deny until I die.
No. That who does this guy hang out with? Okay, hold on. For me personally, you know what I mean? If my homeboy rocked up to me and said, "Hey dude, can I tell you something?" I would be like, "Yeah, sure, what's up?" And then he told me I cheated on my wife or I cheated on my girlfriend. Honest to God reaction. You know what I would do? I would straight up tell him, "You need to tell her, and if you don't, I will. I will blow this shit up." Maybe that's a bit much, but you need to get this out now because, oh my God, you wait on this shit, it's gonna go from this to this. Not telling your partner about cheating is like taking a shit and not unclogging the toilet and letting it fester. It's gonna get worse real soon, and you're gonna wish you did it way sooner. Shit sucks regardless. Literally, shit sucks. Do it now. Oh my God.
She went through my phone records and saw I'd been calling her often. I told her I had developed a connection with her and was confiding in her, but that's it.
Yeah, you also confided your dick in her for 2 seconds, but I don't know, dude. According to your words, it was only for a couple of seconds. So I guess we should say, oh, that's not cheating. Yeah, cheating this dick, man. Your dick confided in her too. Don't leave that out. Don't be a bitch.
That wasn't true. She demanded I stop. I told her I would. I did for a couple weeks, but started again. She found cat hair on my clothes one night.
Okay.
I denied.
So you got them connections. Good on you.
She found intimate stains on my pants one night. I said it was from snooking it. I mentally abused her by gaslighting her. She knew she was right, but wanted.
See, exactly. This guy has turned into a bigger bitch than his wife. What an absolute bitch, bro. I feel for this dude. I have not been cheated on. I have not been in this type of relationship before, but dude, I get it. I can understand why you're so stressed. But guess what? I said it once and I'll say it again. Leave. Leave, my guy. Leave.
To believe me so bad, and I took advantage of that. In September of 2023, I still maintained that I wasn't dating, but that I wanted to. I encouraged her to go on dating sites and start dating, that I would watch our toddler for her so she could date others and have the romantic connection and simple human connection she craved. Unfortunately, this caused so many triggers.
Bro,
for
Spartan
her
kicked
that
this
she
bitch
began
off that
drinking
cliff,
again.
bro.
It got bad, fast. I found her at home unconscious drunk during the day with our toddler running around. I told her I would have to take
my
him
God.
away if she didn't get help. She swore that she would, but things just got worse. She started going on 2 to 4 day benders, showing up high on something, not looking, talking, or acting like herself. I was so hurt and so angry. I started sleeping at my coworker's house a few nights a week and set up cameras at home.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Ain't no way this guy is real! Ain't no way, dude! Ain't no way! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! Is this real? Bro, this has to be fake. This can't be a real story. No way! Oh my god! Nah. We should assume this is real because then it's so much more exciting. Oh my god. No, this has to be real. Oh my god. Holy shit. I am fucking floored right now.
To make sure our toddler was safe while I wasn't there. She asked me for help, and I gave her a therapist's name and offered to pay for everything. I was also giving her $2,000 to $3,000 per month of spending money, while carrying all expenses except groceries. I offered to get maids to take care of cleaning and reduce the load. We reached a point where she said she needed to be out of the house and away from my clothes, my smell, my presence, so she could heal. I told her I needed the freedom.
Oh no,
to
she's not
drug
gonna
or
cheat too,
alcohol
is she?
test her at any time to make sure our toddler was safe. This became an emergency court action, and she eventually agreed. I helped her get a new townhouse, gave her the car, but she drove drunk and crashed it twice. My insurance covered the repairs both times, totaling $17,000. It became very scary. Her grandma died, who was one of
I mean, I kind of hope she does. I mean, two wrongs don't make a right, but I'm petty. Honestly, clock that shit. Clock that shit. I wouldn't do that shit, but I totally understand where you're coming from.
the one person who didn't leave her no matter how she treated me or what she did. And that in 2022, she finally started feeling safe with me. We were talking about having a second child, but at the end of 2022, I blacked out because I didn't want to have another child before the drinking issue was treated.
The first sensible thing my guy has said in the last 20 minutes. I don't want to get another child until you fix your drinking. Unfortunately, he is 10 years late.
She told me she wants me to be totally honest with my coworker. And if I was, and my coworker didn't leave me, she would meet my coworker and consent to our child being around during the days I had our toddler at house. I told my coworker 70% of the truth, but didn't tell her that I cheated
pull
on
up
her
the
with
chairs.
my wife 3 times over the course of the year. Now, obviously, my coworker felt hurt, betrayed, angry, sad, and demanded that I don't continue conversations with my wife. I don't go to her house. I don't play the role of her support figure. I should have said, too bad. I know it's unfair, but this is my child's mother who is in a crisis, and my primary job right now is to come clean about everything and try to help my wife get sober and healthy.
You can try to help your wife by just getting a divorce. Dude, if I took a shot every single time I said get a divorce, I'd be 6 bottles deep. I'd be 4 bottles deep right now.
In mid-May of this year, I realized I couldn't do this. I'd rather be with my wife, drinking or not, and do my best to help her. Seeing her in this much pain and knowing how much I contributed and how awful it was, I knew I had to stop what I was doing.
You can't
called
fix
my mom.
this. Oh,
What?
oops.
With her grandmother's death,
You can't fix this. You can't fix this. You burned the house down. You burned the house down and tossed the ashes into the river. You can't build the house again. It's gone, dude.
in our divorce. In mid-May of this year, I realized I couldn't do this. I'd rather be with my wife, drinking or not, and do my best to help her. Seeing her in this much pain and knowing how much I contributed and how awful it was, I knew I had to stop what I was doing. I called my mom. She lives far away, in case anyone's wondering why she was not a family support for our child, to tell her the truth about everything. My mom was very disappointed in me, but supported me in returning to my wife. I decided to sleep on it. If I still felt so strongly and so certainly the next day, I would tell my coworker that I am not sorry, but I must prioritize family. In the morning, I got a call that she had died by S-word the night before. She left a note saying that she could not handle the PTSD and nightmares from me gaslighting her.
Oh my... Wait, oops. Oh my god.
She was clear in the note that this was my fault, that I betrayed and abandoned her and left her alone during the worst time of her life. She was clear, explicitly, that I killed her. The coroners and detectives warned me not to read the notes, but I had to know. I came clean to my coworker about everything, including my intent to leave. Now I have lost my wife, the mother of my child, my person. I see clearly now how, despite her flaws and faults, and although her drinking was not my fault, the stress I caused her that often triggered her drinking was my fault. I see how much more I could have done. I see how horribly abusive I was. My wife was too, but not in the recent past. I see how distorted I was. I wake up in the night often. I cry constantly.
Yeah, no, dude, we can stop the pity party. We will do the confession stream on Reddit. Where should we go? Oh, wait. We should start where that guy made the videos. We should do it on r/confession. I have lied to my son about manatees for the past 24 years. 24 years ago, my 6-year-old son got me a birthday present. It was a mug with a picture of a manatee on it. He got upset when I wasn't sufficiently thrilled with his gift. I assured him that I loved it, saying that manatees were my favorite animals in the whole world. Oh, you basically just gaslit your kid then. Since then, manatee-themed items have been my default gift from him. Shirts, calendars, beer steins, and so much more. 24 years of items displayed proudly in my home. My confession is that manatees are not my favorite animal in the whole wide world. Oh, how could you? How could you? Oh my god, this is irredeemable. This is straight up irredeemable behavior. Oh my god, sir. Life in prison. Somebody get him a life sentence. Oh my god, that is unacceptable. Now my deception has reached its zenith. Next year I'm turning 55 and he is turning 30. Brother. For Christmas, my son has booked a trip for the two of us to go to Florida to see manatees. My son is so excited for this trip and is telling everyone in our family about it. Even my ex-wife is gushing about my trip to finally see. Why are ex-wives always part of the equation? Am I missing something here? Why are ex-wives always part of the equation? Why do we just... Bro, why are we just bringing bombs into our house? Why are we bringing bombs into our house and then getting surprised when the house blows up? What? Being like, hey, look, we got this family thing going on. We got a family tradition. We got some manatees. We're gonna go to a trip to Florida to check out the manatees, right? Oh, by the way, Guess what? Your ex-wife also knows about it too. Hey, that's good news, right? Fuck no, it's not. What? I'm gonna give you this stare. What do you mean? What? What? Of course, I am thrilled to spend time and have an adventure with my son. I am grateful for his thoughtfulness and love for his old man. We will have a lovely time together and make great memories. And I will continue the deception about the manatees, which are not my favorite animals in the whole wide world. Edit. Thank you for the award and the laughs. For those asking, my favorite animals are dogs. Happy New Year. Well, you know what? Good, wholesome story. But coming where I came from the videos that we were watching before, you know what this guy should have done to rectify the situation? Should he tell the truth that his favorite animals are not manatees? No. You know what he should do? He should sleep with his ex-wife. We're just gonna sit here and think about that for a second. I think that's what he should have done. That's the right thing to do, right? Because as an adult, you make the right decisions, right? I think that's what he should have done. Instead of coming clean about his son and telling him that his favorite animals are dogs instead, you know what he should have done? Nah, he should just slept with the ex-wife. Neighbor tried to get my mom fined over our shed, so I got his 40,000K pool filled in. With what? Cum? I live with my mom. She's quiet, keeps to herself, never bothers anyone. A few months ago, our neighbor decided to report her to the city for having an illegal shed in our backyard. It was total BS. The shed's been there for years and has full permit. An inspector came out, checked everything, and left without saying a word. But the neighbor, smug, proud, thought he'd scared us. So I did a little digging. Turns out his brand new pool was way too close to the property line and illegally built over a utility easement. Oh! I reported him, attached photos, quoted city codes. 2 weeks later, the city ordered him to either move it, impossible, or fill it in. He lost the whole thing, $40,000 down the drain. Literally. Now he gets to look at our completely legal shed every day, while standing over a pile of dirt where his pool used to be. Honestly, straight up, clock it. Be petty. That is some good petty ass behavior. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Round of motherfucking applause. Round of applause. I like this. This is good levels of petty. Talk shit, get hit, get with the program. Number 2 and number 3. Okay, we'll start with number 2, and then Los, I got you. We will do number 3 afterwards. Okay, so number 1, number 2. Okay, am I the asshole for being furious that my husband gave away my sake and wine after I told him repeatedly not to? I, 30 female, came back from Japan about 2 months ago and brought home an expensive wine bottle of sake I specifically picked after doing a sake tasting class. Straight off the bat, that is tier 1 valuables. International alcohol from an event? Nah. You have to keep that. Okay, my husband and I had multiple conversations where he asked if he could give the sake to his father, his cousin, or his friends. And I said a strict no every single time. I like this girl. I like this girl. Guess what she's doing, gang? Guess what she's doing? Clear communication. No, I'm telling you no. That's good. That's good. Not vaguely, not jokingly, very clearly. He knew it was sentimental and partially a souvenir. He had also refused to drink it the one time I opened it because he had a headache. So I had about 20 milliliters and left the rest untouched. Fast forward to 3 days ago. I'm away from home and he has friends over after a pub night. I didn't even consider that he would touch the sake or the wine because we've had the don't share this conversation a million times. Well, guess what? Alcoholism makes you do incredible things, family. Not talking from personal experience, but as a man and as a guy who knows people who do drink, you turn to a completely different person. You might as well be Jesus Christ because you are completely different. What am I saying? The next day, I ask him where the sake is. he casually tells me he shared the sake and the unopened wine with his friends, and they finished everything. Divorce. Divorce. Straight up divorce. You don't fuck with somebody's alcohol when it's international and it has sentimental value. Ain't no way, fam. Ain't no way. I was stunned, angry, disappointed, all of it. He then says he forgot that I told him not to give it to anyone, then adds that he doesn't remember unimportant stuff. Are we for real? Are we being so for real right now? Are we for real right now? Dude, this is your wife. What do you mean unimportant stuff? She just got back from Japan. That is insane. That is insanity. Men, am I right, fellas? Men, am I right? Damn. Damn. When I confronted him about the sake and wine, he flipped it and said, "Don't let it spoil our relationship," and suggested I see a counselor. Dude, I am sorry. This story is so good, but so bad for her. This guy. Hold on. Let's get a rundown of this guy real quick. So this guy knows that his wife got back from Japan with a lot of valuable drinks, gets drunk, goes out with the boys, and then he comes home drunk, sees that shit, and even though his wife told him a million times, "Hey babe, don't fucking drink this shit," he does it anyway. And then when he sobers up, instead of replying, "Hey, I'm sorry, I will try something to fix this situation. Maybe next time we go to Japan, I will buy you more of these, or maybe I will not drink as much." Nah, this is your fault. Oh, by the way, see a counselor. Don't let it ruin our relationship. 2 weeks in the gulag. 2 weeks in the gulag. Am I the asshole for being this upset over something he claims is not a big deal, even though I told him explicitly and repeatedly not to touch it? I'm unable to process the fact that my husband casually crossed a major boundary and is nonchalant about it. I mean, I think we already know the answer to this question. I know Reddit can be a crazy place, but I think in this situation, everybody's gonna say that she's not the asshole. She clearly communicated this to him and he still didn't respect it. Let's see the evidence. Not the asshole. So that's okay. So we're 1 for 0. Not the asshole. 2 for 0. Can we go 0 for 3? Oh my god. Crazy. 3. Not the assholes. The sky is blue. She's not the asshole in this situation. It's not even close. It's 100% the other way. My friend, 19 female. Okay. Downloaded dating apps like Tinder and Hinge for the first time about a week ago. For reference, she's the type that always says she wants a boyfriend, wants to do couple things, feels lonely as fuck, etc. She's also, in my opinion, at least very normal and average looks wise. Not ugly, not super hot, but just alright. Hold on. I'm gonna call a spade here. If you need to advertise that your friend is normal, that is 100% proof that that person is not normal. Am I crazy for thinking that? I do not think I'm crazy for thinking that. If you need to advertise to other people before you meet them, you're like, he's normal. Am I off field with that one? Am I off base? You disagree? Okay. Let's have a discussion. Hold on. I think the friend sometimes it's just bitchy and jealous. Sometimes, not always. Oh, I didn't even consider jealousy. You're right. Okay. Okay, but let's continue. Since then, she's been complaining to me that almost all the men there are ugly, short, etc., and that she doesn't match with anybody hot. I asked to see which people she was calling ugly, so she showed me her likes, and it's mostly showed people perfectly in her league, as in moderately attractive guys. I told her why these guys were all in her league and she should give some of them a chance since she always complains about wanting to be in a relationship. W friend. Literally, that's a good friend right there. They keep you down to earth. She denied that she's the same league as them and said that she's much more attractive than them. I pointed out that in her own words, she doesn't match with any of the guys she does find attractive, so she's not in their league. She said, I am an asshole. Am I? Okay, but hold on. This is what I was proving. This is kind of like what I imagine sometimes. And hold on, just watch the clip and I will explain what I'm thinking afterwards.
Money.
What's your type?
6 foot, money, Mexican, well-mannered, family-oriented.
You say 6 foot Mexican?
Okay, we can stop it there, but let me explain my situation now. It is not the fact that it's like that extreme, but I do think that at times people need to get humbled. But if you are a good friend, you shouldn't jump the gun immediately. I think you should be gentle with it first off. But this person in the story sounds like they just immediately went to saying that their friend is ugly and that all these people that they think is ugly is actually in their league. That doesn't come off as very considerate. It seems like you are just being mean for the sake of being mean, and it might be coming from an ego or jealousy, like a jealousy point of view. Oh, everyone sucks. Okay, yes. I'm so glad I'm not 19 anymore. Same, Lamau. Yeah, okay, so everybody sucks. Okay, we have one person that says that they're not the asshole. Those apps, okay, not the asshole. Those apps have algorithms that tracks who likes you and adjust the options you're shown. So essentially, an attractiveness algorithm. If she wants to be superficial in how she rates guys, then she needs to be able to handle the same standard. I agree. The way that I would describe this is like talk shit, get hit. If you're sitting here on the internet and you're throwing out all these expectations, you better be able to handle the same criticism if somebody decides to clap back at you. You literally cannot sit here in front of your monitor and be like, I can say whatever I want. I can have unrealistic expectations. I know I'm 250 pounds, but I want to date Ryan Reynolds. No, you can't. You want to date Ryan Reynolds? You better be really fucking hot. And I'm saying that as a straight dude. If you want to date Ryan Reynolds, goddamn. At the very least, when it comes to expectations, you better be really fucking hot. You are all too young to be on dating apps and sound too immature to date. Not the asshole. Okay, so the vast majority of people will just say either you're not the asshole or everybody sucks. But not anybody's going to blatantly say you are the asshole because everybody still agrees that the girl needs to get humbled just a little bit. Okay.